Welcome back. Today I'll be Platinumed Battlefront 2. This game has gained a lot of buzz over the couple of months. This is because everybody's demanding the next installment of the franchise. So I thought while all the servers are full and there's a lot of hype to go back and platinum it. I played Battlefront 2 when it first released in 2017. I got exactly half of the trophies needed for the platinum, but since EA wanted to ban me, I have to start over on a new account. Please unban me, EA. I did nothing wrong. Anyways, Battlefront 3 has 3 main stages to the platinum, that being multiplayer, campaign, and then getting level 50. I then started the platinum going for all the multiplayer trophies. The 3 main game modes that you'll be playing are Starship, Hero vs Villains, and Supremacy or Co-op. The first main group of trophies I went for is just winning a match in certain game modes. The next game mode I went for all the trophies is Heroes vs Villains. If you haven't played Battlefront before, this is a 4v4 Heroes vs Villains mode. For whatever team gets 30 kills is the winner. And personally, this is my favorite mode of the entire game. The only thing is this is the shortest game mode for lengthwise for trophies. There are only 4 trophies in the entire game mode, one of them already got for winning a match. But the next trophy we get for being the first player in a match to get a kill. And then afterwards I got a trophy for getting 50 total kills in Heroes vs Villains. And then the final trophies for Heroes vs Villains is for using all original 6 of the launch characters in the game. Now we move on to the second game mode of the game, being Starship Assault. I am not kidding when I say this game mode almost made me completely stop the platinuming of this game. A large majority of the platinum is just in this game mode, and all of the trophies in it, besides a few, are very annoying. An also benefiting factor is all the lobbies are filled with sweats who haven't seen the outside world in a couple of years. Like for example, Musty Farquaad over here is level 145. Out of roughly 5 hours of playing with one ship, I got to level 10. So after some rough calculations, this man has played 50 hours with a certain ship. And that's not including the different classes or even the hero ships. Like, my brother, go outside. This game mode isn't that fun. And trust me, I know this. I just sit through this game mode for around like 10 hours trying to get these trophies. Anyways, let's head on to the trophies. The first trophy I went for is for getting 10 2-kill streaks with the Interceptor. All you need to do is kill 2 enemies in a short distance of time and then do that 10 times over a span of a couple games. Bang! Bang! Finally, thank God. The next trophy is for destroying 25 objectives over multiple games. The next trophy is a fun one. You have to be one of the base ships and kill one of the hero ships. And then you have to repeat this 24 more times. It took me an hour and a half to get my first kill. Every single time I was close to getting a kill, I'd get killed by somebody behind me. Yes! Holy Christ, this took 5.5 hours. We now will move on to the next game mode of the game, being co-op. Or you can play Supremacy, but co-op is way easier to get these trophies. Co-op also gives you the most XP, which you'll need for the level 50 trophy. Most of the trophies in co-op deal with stormtroopers / clone troopers, where most trophies are specific to a different class in the game, that being Assault, Heavy, Officer, and Specialist. The first trophy I went for is for using the Officer's support ult, and then once you support 100 of your teammates, you get the trophy. A big trophy pop. The next trophy is for getting 5 3-kill streaks with the shotgun from the Assault class. And then almost immediately right after the trophy popped, I got a trophy for completing 25 different objectives. The next trophy is for using your heavy machine gun on 150 different enemies throughout the game. And then I got a trophy for reaching level 25 out of 50. And then after that, I got the final class trophy of the game. This trophy is gotten from getting 25 headshots with the sniper class. And the next trophy is the final trophy in the co-op mode. That's only if you don't count the level 50 requirement trophy. And this trophy is for getting 500 kills with a hero or villain in a multiplayer mode. Now we get to the fun part of the platinum, and that is for grinding to level 50. From getting all of the multiplayer trophies done, I got to around level 26. This means if I need to get to level 50, I need to at least double my time on this game. It took at least 10 hours to get the remaining levels to reach level 50. The hardest part of this platinum might not even be the Starship trophies. Even though they were really hard, it wasn't as boring as getting to level 50, as doing so made you slowly lose your insanity.
Flashback.
Dude, I literally just did it. My Jar Jar is the best. And my Yoda.
You might be retarded.
A flashback.
And there's also the time where the singer came and play. After a couple of long hours, I finally made it to level 50, getting the last trophy that I needed in the multiplayer game modes. Now after finishing all the multiplayer, we move on to the campaign, where we will get the last 18 trophies needed for the platinum. The campaign starts off as you as Aiden Versio trapped in a cell. You're in the cell because you're trying to steal back the schematics for the Death Star. That's when you take control of Aiden Versio's droid to try to get her out of the cell. And then you sneak around the rebel base, and then you make it back to Aiden to break her out. And then you sneak around the base to try to get the data that you came for. You then make it to the message relay station and destroy all the evidence. But once you destroy all the evidence, it turns on an alarm, making all the rebels come and attack you. And then shortly after, we get the first trophy of the game for shocking 3 enemies at once. And then you get a trophy for finishing the first chapter of the game, from getting away through an escape pod. And then you get orders to go join the war over in Endor. You are tasked to kill enemies patrolling the area around Endor. This leads you to a bunker in the forest where you get a gun for the next trophy of the game. And that's for killing 5 enemies with 3 shots of this barrage gun. And then you find a tower patrolled by an ATST, and at the very top of the tower there are TIE fighters you need to escape. You then kill the rebels and then make your way back to space. You then fight some X-Wings and then finish up the chapter popping the trophy. And then you make it back on board to the command ship where you have a talk with Emperor Palpatine. That's until your ship gets attacked by the rebels. You destroy all the bombers and then you make it on board to their capital ship. This is so you can destroy the ship's stabilizers, making them go off course. You then go back into your ship and destroy the clamps holding back the Star Destroyer. This then pops the trophy for completing the chapter. You then play as your first hero of the game being Luke Skywalker. You are on this new planet looking for an artifact, and then you learn that there's Imperial activity on this planet. You then enter a cave and find that somebody in Aiden Versio's squad is trapped. Del then asks for help and then Luke releases him. This creates a truce between the two parties. Del then tells Luke the reason why he is on the planet is to destroy a bunker. These orders were given him by Emperor Palpatine. They then make it to the bunker and then Luke asks if he can take an artifact from the bunker. Del says yes because he saved his life. You also got a trophy for making it to the observatory. You then jump back to Aiden and her squad. They're at a planet controlled by the Empire. You then make it through some checkpoints and then get to this Imperial building. And then you meet up with this character named Gleb and his friend. Gleb tries to leave with his friend, but Hask says no. He says no because it wasn't in their orders to let the friend go with him. The building falls apart and then they try to evacuate everybody, but Hask doesn't want any part of it. He thinks they should stick to the plans that they're given by the Empire and only let Gleb leave. This leads to a dispute between the squad. And after a bit, Aiden Versio shoots Hask in the leg. And then her and Del run away from the building, becoming enemies of the Empire. This leads to the next trophy of the game for taking out a scout trooper via a stealth takedown. You then move throughout the city until you find an ATA walker. You then hijack it and then bring it through the streets until you reach your ship. And then you defend civilians until a ship brings them to safety. Also popping a trophy for completing the chapter. You then enter the ship and meet up with the rebels you just saved. In the next mission, you destroy enemy mines and also destroy enemy ships. In doing so, pops a trophy for completing the short chapter. And then once after destroying the Star Destroyer, you move down to Theed and play as Leia. In this chapter, you defend points of Thneed from the Empire. This leads into you have to defend a castle from a big wave of enemies. You have to defend this point so Del can set a charge to destroy all the ships and weapons. In doing so, pops a trophy for completing this chapter. This then puts you to Tal Kadana playing as Han Solo. The first half of the mission has you walk around Maz's castle to find a guy named Paldora. The reason why you want to find him is because he has intel on Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk is the home planet of the Wookiees and they don't want the Empire getting their hands on this data. You collect both data pieces and then go back to the Falcon. And then that's when a transport ship comes with stormtroopers. You then defend them off and then go to the skies. That's when you defend Maz's castle from TIE fighters. And then once defeating all of the TIE fighters, you get a trophy for completing the chapter. In the next chapter, you go to a place that looks like Cloud City. You then sneak through the building by wearing stormtrooper outfits. The reason why you're here is to find Hask. You make it to the top of the building where he'd be, but he's not there. He knew you two would show up, so he sends his army after you. And then you have to escape in this ship called a cloud car. After destroying an objective, you get a trophy for finishing the chapter. In this chapter, you play as Lando to infiltrate a factory. You then get in there and override the system, making the factory overfill with lava. You then escape the factory and then narrowly get burnt by lava. You then get a trophy for finishing the chapter. In the next chapter, you join the battle on Jakku, where almost immediately after starting the chapter, you get a trophy for defeating 9 ships in a row without dying. And then for the remainder of the chapter, you defend rebels and then blow up a ship. And then once those 2 tasks are complete, you move back to the ship, getting the trophy for the chapter. You then land on a Star Destroyer that is going down. You then go in there and try to save your dad. He then explains that his whole life has been the Empire, and that he will go down with the ship if that means necessary. And then you leave via an escape pod, getting the trophy for the chapter. You then wake up and realize the war is over, ending the main storyline of the game. And then you complete the prologue by playing as Kylo Ren. This rewards you the last 2 trophies you'd need for the Platinum. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have an amazing rest of your day.